going to create a 3-layer photo edit in the style of Nicola Muirhead. She takes Polaroid photographs of scenes about her experience during lockdown and treats them with cleaning chemicals which create ghosting and discoloration. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open the first photograph, and it's a photograph of my glasses on my desk. So this is my sort of teaching space. So that opens it. And the next image I'm going to open, file, open. It's a photograph I downloaded from the internet. It's actually a picture of a virus, obviously taken on a microscope. Obviously, it's using a second-hand image. I'm not a big fan of that, but in this instance, we have no choice as we don't have any cameras and microscopes available. So the first thing I do is to select the photograph. I go to Edit, I go to Copy. I'm then going to click on my image, go to Edit, and Paste. Now this is really quite small, so I'm really going to have to stretch it quite a bit. And to do that, I go to Edit, Transform, and Scale. And I can drag the corners to cover the whole photograph. Now the pixels are going to be quite big and clunky. That's not the end of the world in this instance, because I'm going to reduce the opacity of it. So what I've got now, I've got my background image, and I've got my layer I've just added on top. So what I can do is to reduce the opacity quite a bit. Or another thing I could do is to look at different menus. I've done this in some other videos I've created. I can go to hard light, often works well. So what I've got here, I've got this broken up surface, broken up with the colours from the virus photo overlaid onto the picture of my glasses and my teaching space. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to introduce more elements of colour. I'm going to make a new layer, so I go to Layer, New, and Layer. This creates a blank layer here. What I want to do is I want to put a colour gradient going across the picture to represent some of the colours that Muirhead's photos have with the cleaning products. So I go to the gradient tool, and I need to change the colours that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go from a sort of purple colour here, click on OK. As you see down on the left here, my foreground colour changes, and I want to change my background colour as well. And I want to take that into this blue, into a sort of middle blue there, blue-grey. Click on OK. So what I do now, I position my cursor where I want the colour to start, click, and I drag across to where I want the colour to end. It will go from one colour to the next. So that's my gradient. What I need to do now is to reduce the opacity on my gradient, just keeping it quite subtle. And what I end up with obviously with the principal image, the background, which is the photograph of my glasses and my computer keyboard. You can clearly see the virus in the shot as well, and then this tonal gradient going across the picture. If you look at Muirhead's photos, the discoloration of using the cleaning products is quite similar to this. So the last thing I do, I need to go to, when I'm happy with my photograph, I need to go to Layer, I go down to Flatten Image. This turns it from 3 layers into 1. What I could also do is do a bit of enhancement at the moment as well. Go to Image, Adjustments and Levels. And I can just want to increase the dark shades just a little bit. Let's get those highlights a little bit better too. And click on OK. And then the usual way to save my photo, I want to save it as a JPEG. I need to download it. I need to export it rather. Go to File. I go to Export As. It's a JPEG. Click on that. It's increased to about 80%. 80 or 90% is fine. And then save. That downloads into my Downloads folder as a JPEG and can then be used in my work in the normal way. So that's a 3-layer edit. It's a second-hand image of the virus It's a gradient and it's an image that I've taken. Experiment a bit. In the notes I'll put a link to some of Nicola Muirhead's work and you can experiment with the colours, matching them up a bit. Okay, thank you very much.